The reopening of the Strait of Hormuz following a ceasefire between the United States and Iran has brought a wave of relief for India. However, while the development appears overwhelmingly positive at first glance, a closer look shows a more balanced picture, one where short-term gains are clear, but deeper economic challenges remain. Hello, my name is Ashutosh Srivastav and I bring you the best from home and abroad. On the positive side, the reopening of the Strait directly addresses India's most urgent concern, energy supply. During the conflict, nearly 20 to 25% of global oil and gas flows was disrupted, severely affecting India, which depends heavily on the region for imports. With over 90% of its LPG and a large share of crude oil coming through this route, shortages had already begun to hit households and industries. Restaurants shut down, black marketing increased, and panic buying created additional pressure. Now, with the Strait reopened, stranded Indian ships carrying LPG and oil are expected to arrive in full force. This will likely normalize domestic gas supplies, reduce shortages, and stabilize prices. The easing of logistical disruptions will also lower transportation costs, helping improve supply chains and business operations. In the short term, this is a significant boost for both consumers and industries. However, the economic story does not end here. Despite the reopening, the Indian economy continues to face lingering effects from the crisis. One major issue is the weakened currency. The Indian rupee has already fallen sharply against the US dollar, making imports more expensive. Even if oil and gas supplies resume smoothly, India may still have to pay higher prices due to currency depreciation, which could keep inflation elevated. There are also broader macroeconomic concerns. The conflict has also and already rather slowed economic momentum, with growth projections expected to drop by up to 1%. At the same time, rising costs have created inflationary pressure, raising the risk of stagflation, where growth slows while prices rise. This dual challenge cannot be resolved simply by reopening the trade route. Additionally, the crisis has exposed structural vulnerabilities. India's heavy dependence on the Middle East for energy as well as fertilizers makes it highly sensitive to geopolitical shocks. Supply disruptions have already impacted sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, and services. Even with the Strait open, rebuilding these supply lines and chains and restoring full economic activity will take time. Another concern is external income. Millions of Indians working in the Gulf countries send remittances back to home, and any prolonged instability in the region could reduce these inflows, affecting household incomes and consumption in India. The Reserve Bank of India and the government have stepped in with measures such as currency intervention, subsidies, and fiscal support. However, these actions come at a cost. Increasing fiscal pressure and limiting spending on long-term development projects like infrastructure as well could be affected. In conclusion, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz is undoubtedly a major relief for India, especially in terms of restoring energy supplies and easing immediate shortages, but it is not a complete solution. The economic impact of the crisis, seen in currency weakness, inflation, and slow growth, will continue to be felt in the months ahead. Ultimately, the situation highlights both resilience and vulnerability. While India can recover quickly from supply shocks, it must also rethink its long-term energy strategy, diversify imports, and invest in alternative sources to reduce dependence on volatile regions. Thank you for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.